So, okay, so I just found out that when they were making the movie Idiocracy, that they were like getting the costumes and everything ready, right? And Mike Judge tells the person that's in charge of that stuff, hey, go out and find the most insane looking shoes you've ever seen. Have you heard this? Bro, I had no idea that way back then that the only reason that Crocs are what they are is because Mike Judge saw them and thought they looked ridiculous enough to put them in a movie making fun of us. And they just, bro, dude, I literally like almost got in a car wreck because I was like driving, listening to it. And I was like, huh? And I like looked down and I'm just like, oh shit, like what am I doing? Bro, what? I mean, they look ridiculous. They're comfortable as all shit, but they look ridiculous. Let's be honest.
Crocs so much. It's funny. Man, everyone's just walking around with Idiocracy shoes. And no idea.
Yeah, I mean, like
I will be honest, dude. I've worn them a lot less now that I know that. I'm like, I don't know, man. I can't. But
hey, man, that fucking rocket, dude. They look dumb on purpose.
Yes. Well, so
khaki shorts.
They've had 2 lifespans because they came out and they got really big. They died off and then they came back. So all I'll say is this. They were made to be worn on boats. And since I know that, they make sense to me. They're extremely comfortable and they're waterproof. So I like them because I've got kids and there's no telling what I'm going to run into. But I'm also a guy that doesn't like to wear shoes. Like I hate shoes. I wear slides. Like I wear these all day. I hate shoes, bro. If I could, well, I wear a lot of like, you know, the flip flop ones. I wear those all the time too. But they're cheap, so they fall apart real easy. So my sister got me these Adidas ones because they're made well, but they last me a couple of years. But I like to wear. I'm comfort, bro. Like this is why you'll never hardly ever see me. I never had like my mohawk up because it was a pain in the ass, and I was like, man, I'm all about comfort. I'm a big fat American, bro.
I had a mohawk for like 3 days. This last mohawk, and I was like, okay, I'm not putting this up every day, and I look fucking stupid with it down, so I'm just cutting this thing off, dude.
Yeah, dude. One time I had a mohawk, dude. I had my hair down to here, and then I was like, our other buddy was shaving his head in the street, and I was like, damn, dude, I've been thinking about doing that myself, and then this motherfucker with that buzzer starts chasing me with the buzzer until he gets the side of my fucking dome, dude. And I'm like, and my hair's down to here, and I'm like, dude, you better fucking make this a mohawk, and it better look fucking good, man. And like,
committed.
Guess it looked fucking terrible.
Yeah, man. I mean, mohawks are cool when they're up because they're freaking rad looking, right? But man, I feel like at this point, everybody that has mohawks, it's strictly like unless you've been rocking one for years and years and years. Because I know a few people that have had them just pretty much for as long as I've known them. Right. But most people that have those, they're like fashion guys. They want it to, they have it because of the way it looks, and only because of the way it looks, not as like a state of rebellion. Like it's not like a statement of rebellion. Like they're not like, oh man, I really want people to understand that I don't give a shit, so I'm doing this to my hair. It's more like, oh, doesn't this look cool with my like pre-made battle vest that I bought off some weird site? Like
about a lot of things that used to be rebellious.
Well, it's kind of like I think that came about with the fucking Jock Hawk thing.
The Jock
like Chuck Liddell and shit. Which don't get me wrong, Chuck Liddell's a badass or whatever. But
but
Mohawk, Jock.
He's still a normie though. Like he's still a normie with a mohawk. So it's like, and again, we all understand that there's nothing wrong with normies, but man, this is a conversation that we've had on this channel quite a few times with different guests. Man, like we love this stuff, man. This is our whole life. So I'm 41, and dude. All right, first off, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to the show. This is our contact redo because your boy here shit the bed somehow, and we're redoing it, but it's okay. So like today at my store, I'm just sitting there talking to some regular customers, just like this, I don't know what to call them, older couple. They're probably in their like late 50s, but they come in all the time to buy horror movies from me and Blu-rays and shit, and they're really sweet. But they're in there and they're talking, and we're just kind of hanging out, and then this dude walks in, and I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. And I was like, maybe I don't know him. You know how sometimes you see somebody and you're not quite sure? And so I just thought like, well, I'm not going to bother this dude. He was looking around in my store, so I felt grateful he was even there. And then I couldn't help it. I said, hey, man, you play music, don't you? And he didn't even look. He's like, Randy? And he turns around and I was like, whoa! It's a dude that I've known for like 20 years, right?
Yeah.
It's our whole life, dude. 20 years ago, I met this guy, maybe even longer than that. Fast forward to we're in our middle age. He's still in the antique mall trying to find a record store to come buy some punk records. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it does get under my skin a little bit, but I'm trying to get over that because it's really stupid. But it does bother me.
Well, there's a certain level. I mean, you mentioned the pre-made vests. That's one that really bothers the shit out of me. That really bugs me because the part of the whole thing and the whole culture of, you know, having vests and stuff, even dating back before.
DIY.
Well, yeah, you know, even dating back before the punk days and stuff, people wearing vests, you know, like it had special significance. And the patches you put on there, it's like curated and
It tells a story.
your battle vest or your vest, whatever you want to call it, like it's a really symbolic. It's supposed to represent you. It's supposed to be kind of like a representation of your individual personality and stuff. So
100%.
People to buy like pre-made studded leathers and pre-made studded vests and stuff, it's just like, oh my gosh,
I will say, for a dirty, poor punk kid, it's a great business on Etsy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a vest for like $100 and sell it for like $500.
See, but that's even a
on
different
Etsy.
thing though, because it's like that's one thing, but there are companies that like mass produce like faux.
Yeah, okay, so that's where I was going to go with that, is that you have two different kinds, exactly what you're saying. You have the guys that make these ones with patches that they like resemble like an exploited logo, but it's not. Or it's weird, dude. It's so weird. And I guess it's like high fashion or something. I don't really get it, man, but like I had a kid that I made a vest for and he paid like 300 some change for it. But like he was a young kid, he didn't have any clue how to sew this stuff on. And it was a little weird, but I understood where he's coming from. And he was like, "Hey man, I gotta save some money to get this though. So like, let me get back to you when I have the money." And like, I don't know, that felt a little more like reasonable to me, I guess is the word. Like I was like, all right, yeah. When I was a kid, if I hadn't had any way to do it, I'd have to have somebody help me. And I don't know, it just felt a little different. But I've definitely seen the guys that have like boot cut jeans on that are like $250 with this dumbass vest that they bought some, like you said, some weird, you know, I don't know, man, super strange, but whatever, man, teach their own, I guess. I wouldn't be caught dead wearing no shit like that. I could barely wear the battle vest I made myself. Like,
part of all that is totally fucking buy punks for punks, you know.
It's and it's so weird too, because on one side of the coin, I want to go, that sounds so ridiculous. We're giving ourselves rules, and then on the other side of the same exact coin, I'm like, yeah, but I really love this shit, and I totally feel that. Like, it's so conflicting for me, man. Like, as a person that wants people to truly do whatever they want, it's very conflicting because I do. If you want to wear that stuff, wear it, but I'm gonna talk shit. Like, just be ready. Like, I have to.
Well, it's kind of the thing of like, you know, at the end of the day, of course, I believe in freedom and individuality in pretty much all regards. And I want people to express and dress however the fuck they want. Ultimately, it's not my business how he wants to dress. But at the same time, like, I can comment on it too, you know, and it's just a personal opinion. Like, I'm not going to be like, you know, treat someone weird or be like, oh, you fucking poser or whatever at a show.
Yeah, you don't have to be a complete asshole about it to make your point.
Okay, you know, maybe a little side eye slightly, but, you know, whatever. It's not like, you know, obviously that doesn't actually have anything to do with your real character, you know, how you are as a person.
Or does it, though? Or does it? Because if you're the kind of person that buys that kind of stuff, I mean, that does tell me a little something about you. Like, because A, you don't know what you're doing. B, you got more money than you got sense, because that shit is very, very expensive. Like, so it tells me a little bit. You can't judge the book by its cover, but you can check out the back of the book and figure out a whole lot about it. So, you know, but dude, here's something that's funny.
They don't know start, you know, and a lot of people come from places they don't have any kind of clue about punk or subculture or anything. And so, I mean, I totally agree that it's fucking stupid or whatever. Just trying to give people the benefit of the doubt or whatever.
No, it's like I said, it's very conflicting.
Like, yeah, I mean, make your own shit, learn about the subculture, learn about the history, and you know, do your own shit. Don't buy some fast fashion, mass marketed shit. So,
Right.
Dude, you want to hear something that's kind of bananas that absolutely mirrors our conversation? Is if you listen to like gang members talk about their clothing and how people wear like paisley print bandana stuff, they say the exact same things. And I've always thought it was funny because I think that hip hop mirrors punk rock a lot and it parallels punk rock a lot. And it has the same kind of, even down to stuff like that, where you have these guys that are like, no, man, you can't wear that, bro. Like, I understand it looks cool when you bought it off this website. And you got to learn your history behind where it came from. It's so wild because I literally heard a guy talking about that on a podcast, I don't know, maybe a week ago. Exactly what you were saying, just on the other end of the spectrum. He was talking about it with like, he was talking about like bandanas, and he would talk about how, because they were like, why do you take the time to like iron your bandana and hit it with a little bit of this and that? And like, he's like, you gotta represent the way I feel, the way I grew up, the way I live. And it was so crazy because it's like identical to what we're talking about with these band tees and patches and stuff. I mean, there's a certain amount of who gives a shit to wear band tees and stuff, but it is something that people feel a certain way about. But
it's all about like living the culture, you know. I mean, like,
yeah,
with making your vests and shit like that. I mean, like, I think all of us, I mean, guarantee, actually, know for a fact that all of us spent some time fucking, you know, just like hanging out on the streets, fucking sewing our patches on for fucking dental floss because we had a couple extra time fucking drinking, you know, whatever fucking alcohol behind some record store or fucking venue or whatever before a show. Or whatever.
I've literally sat down on a sidewalk outside of a club in Austin and sewn a patch on some pants because it all started with like fixing your clothes. That's how it started. And like, I literally tore a hole in the crotch of my jeans. And so I had to sit there. I had to pull my jeans down to where they were like around my knees and have boxers on. And I sewed on a US bombs patch, but I sewed it on upside down because I was looking at it. And so I wasn't thinking. And I was like, all right, cool. And I just like held it on and I got a couple stitches in. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm just talking to my buddies. And then I stood up and my friend's like, hey, you sewed that patch on upside down. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh, but I mean, I'm not fixing that. Are you kidding me? But like for like 2 years, I had these jeans that I wore all the time that had this upside down US bombs dick patch. It was pretty awesome.
First part is fucking sewing your boxers into your patch.
Oh, dude, I've so done that. Or your pocket.
Yeah.
Until the pocket shut or something. Oh, dude.
Exactly.
Dude, and by the way, the best fucking crotch fix is a sock. All right. So it's kind of stretchy.
Yo, because it stretches. Oh, dude. Yes, bro. That's awesome. Hey, y'all have patches and shit or no?
Say what?
Do y'all have patches and shit?
Okay, we got back patches, and we got 100 patches on the way being made right now.
Yeah,
like just fucking logo
just
patches,
rectangle logo patches.
I need to make sure I get a couple of those. Yeah, I might. Yeah, I need to get some of those. I want to put one on my hoodie or something. But
yeah, we got like fucking 70 shirts being made, 2 different kinds.
Nice.
One with our tour flyer and our logo right here. And
okay.
Fucking
God,
merch is right over there. I might just go grab it in a second. Yeah. But yeah, then we got this sick ass design that we got on the red t-shirts that were being made, as well as our back patch, and we got stickers and hoodies, all that shit. It's all on the way.
The tour shirt I want to purchase. You good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like the tour shirt, I want to purchase that and at least one patch from you. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm a punk rocker, like through and through, man. I'm gonna probably bootleg the shit out of some of my own shirts, just wear them around. Like, I don't think most people give a shit, but I like to just make people aware. I'm not trying to like fake it or hide it or anything. But I will absolutely buy a shirt and a patch to throw on my hoodie and shit. But dude,
when we send you some CDs for the record store, fucking, we're definitely planning on sending a little merch package.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, one more quick note about going back to the whole bandana thing and whatnot. That's an interesting one too, because it really specifically matters a lot where you're at too. Because me and my brother stage here, I mean, we lived in Oakland, California for a number of years.
There's shit you don't wear.
Yeah, well, let's just say,
yeah.
If you're wearing certain bandanas, especially of certain colors in certain areas, you know, you might have a rough go of it. So, yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm from Houston, bro. We got the same shit down here. It's just spread out a little different.
laces in some areas. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you got red laces on? Like, come out those shoes, you know?
Yeah, right.
Kind of
I
shit.
was walking down the street, like you can ask my wife, dude, for like years and years and years. Actually, to this day, I don't wear blue because of where I'm from. Like I just don't. Like I wore whenever yeah, it's weird how it just kind of sticks with you too. Like I just don't. It's weird, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So this is our back patch.
This is our back patch.
Oh my goodness, dude, who made those?
So yeah, fucking I mean, it's your guys' like main homie, but yeah, fucking our homie Cole out of Oakland, California goes by shirts I've printed on Instagram. Fucking
Dude, let me go follow him. Hold on, because I do the Knife Crime Apparel thing, so I'd be screen printing the shit out of stuff too. So,
awesome.
but that's a great print though. He did a good job.
And then so for our album cover, our second shirt design, and fucking this current guy, yeah, album cover as well, right? So
yeah, that's good shit.
Unexpected Spectre, there's his fucking Instagram handle and website and blah blah blah. But our friend Rosario hit us up and he was like, "Yo, I got this design. I listen to your guys' music. I think it would like really be cool on a shirt for you guys." So yeah, had a couple of that guy.
I really enjoy your artwork. I love your music too, of course, or I wouldn't be as invested as I'm fixing to be. But shit,
Hoodie that we had made. My girlfriend Katy actually drew this.
Dude, shout out to Katy. That's badass.
On Instagram, she's Leica today. Yeah, she makes awesome art. She drew this.
Whenever we're done here, I'll get you guys to like just send me a list of all the people that we want to put in the description, and we'll link everybody that you guys want to shout out. Any kind of artist or band or girlfriend or printer or whatever, because I want to make sure people get the proper amount of the respect they deserve for all the hard work.
We live in Centralia, Washington. So like it's kind of redneckville.
Is it really? I don't know much about that area at all.
So I mean, it's 20 minutes from Olympia. That is very, very strong in the scene of fucking respecting each other and like fucking understanding all the things that we're talking about. And we're in that scene, and we have all of these friends, and it's fucking. I mean, those people are fantastic. But then in Centralia, people are actively like disagreeing with those types of people, and fucking saying, yeah, it's bullshit, or just like making fun
and
of
intimidating
of our friends,
them too. Intimidating them too. I mean, I've been called slurs and all kinds of words and been threatened with violence on multiple occasions.
Right.
People yelling shit at me from their fucking
just because of the
lifted
way
trucks,
that we look.
Just because of the
way that
yeah, it's bullshit.
Walk around in our area looking punk. Everybody fucking stares at you with the fluoride. Dude, we're like fucking aliens.
I've been dealing with that for 24 years. I understand that in a way that I can only say I understand that.
Luckily though, we live right next to Olympia, where everyone's super cool.
Right.
And
it sounds like. Sorry.
No, you're good, man.
It sounds like Olympia is like the Montrose area of Houston, and the other place you're talking about sounds like kind of like where I grew up. Honestly, like the suburban, like middle class white folks, like kind of stubborn in their ways, don't want to listen to nothing, and like for the lack of a better Catholic.
Our sounds a little more like trailer trash kind of.
Let's go.
I mean,
Got plenty of them folks around here too.
Yeah, no, I grew up watching Squidbillies and relating to that show a little more than I would have liked to.
Come on, Squidbillies. That show is fucking awesome. I haven't thought of Squidbillies in so long. Oh my goodness, bro. Man, I didn't mean to take that in a weird turn, bro. That started going off the rails quick. I just wanted to just shut the fuck up for a minute and let you say your piece, dude. I just had that question did not get formed very well. I just thought of it and opened my dumb ass mouth and was like, man, I want to ask this question. And it didn't even come out the way I wanted to ask it. But whatever, man. It is what it is, dude. Like I said, man, I don't worry about shit because I ain't got nothing to worry about. So
it's no worries. We're just, gonna say what we have to say.
We're a fucking punk band, man. We got fucking, we got
everybody.
We got things to say, man.
Everybody thinks a little different. Everybody. I'm 41. I gotta think way different than y'all. I guarantee it. But what I am very confident of, do what?
If everyone thought the same, it'd be boring.
Fucking right, dude. Whoa, man, very boring. What I'm very confident in, though, is that I am willing to listen. I'm willing to grow and learn. And I've never been anything but nice to folks because I don't really understand like what you get out of not. Like I don't understand that. I've been around a long time and I've been treated like crap too. Everybody has, but I don't understand like actively just being like I want to be a dick. Like I understand having a bad day sometimes, but just being
I was kind of a dick to other people, but that's because I had a lot going on at home that made me mad. So I would take it out on the world around me and shit. But, you know, you grow out of that. You know, past 18, 19, you just leave home.
Right.
And or you're shit. You know, you grow out of that. You learn compassion and you learn the real world and, like, people don't want to fucking deal with your shit, you know?
You're going to have a lot easier time navigating the world, too, if you have a positive mindset and are just generally positive to people. You know, when you can be, I mean, of course, there's limitations to that, but
more flies with honey.
Then you catch a lot more flies with honey than with shit. So you know,
dude,
people respond to you better when you're.
Flies love.
Dude, I was waiting for one of y'all to say that because that's what I thought. I was like, I don't know, man. Flies tend to like shit quite a bit, but no, what you said makes perfect sense, and it's absolutely true. Like, man, the world's a dark, gnarly place, dude. Like nothing more that I want than to like listen to some good punk rock, be around some weird ass people. Cause like I'm not gonna fret, dude. We're all kind of weird, man. That's why we got together and started these things, man. We're outcasts or whatever you want to call it, right? We all think a little different. That's the artist in us.
So I was thinking of you actually. We all yell, let's go, and Time Crime. And we're like, oh man, this dude would fucking love Time Crime. Have you checked that song out yet? Or
dude, no. Wait, is this new shit or is this old shit? Wait, hold on.
It's on the record.
Yeah, it's on the record.
Dude, I've been working nonstop. I'm so far behind on stuff. Let me check. It's on the one that's on Spotify.
Yeah,
totally. Time Crime.
And yes, then I've heard it, but I'm not gonna remember names. So let me look it up real fast. Let me see what song is it on the actual record. Like what number is it?
Is it like
9?
9 or 10?
I believe it's 9 or 10.
It's one of the last songs.
It's one of the later songs for sure. I think it's like
it's like number 8, I think 7 or 8. Okay, no wait. How many songs are on here?
12.
Oh, you're right. It is like 9 or 10. I'm putting it on my watch list for right now.
Awesome, man.
Sick,
so I can go back and like pay closer attention to it.
Let's go, and we sound like a fucking
let's go.
Sound like a hockey team or some shit. Like
it's fucking thrash.
Because I've listened to the whole album through twice, but both times I was at work and I was like listening to it to get. I think I was like trying to debate what I wanted to do on the Sunday night stream. So I've listened to it twice all the way through, but man, I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but I have a head injury, and so like names. Anything short-term memory that it is impossible for me to remember this stuff. This is why I have to keep I have 30 alarms on my phone going off all the time to remind me to do stuff. And like just to email you guys today, I had like 2 alarms set. So when I woke up, one was going off, like don't forget to email them, check in. And I was like, oh shit. And then like 2 hours later, I'd already forgotten. And I was like, oh crap, another alarm went off. And so it's really hard for me to recall like song titles and stuff, but I keep reading lyrics and shit to help with that.
Literally did a fucking live podcast right before we were doing this right now. It's
oh, really? Oh, wait, me?
Yeah,
dude. Oh, bro. I love it, man. But I am so busy, dude.
By the way, I saw that you covered Ajax. They're fucking sick as fuck.
Great band.
Oh, you know those guys? They're awesome.
Yeah, Ajax is killer.
Bro, so are they from where y'all are at?
I think they are, actually.
I don't know. I'm not sure where they're from.
I thought they were from Olympia. I could be completely fucking wrong.
I feel like they were from. Oh man, now I gotta look it up. So have you figured out what I'm doing on my stream yet? Have y'all watched any of it? It's fun, bro.
On the stream?
On the Sunday night one, yeah, I do it every Sunday. And so what I do is throughout the week, I just go on as many Bandcamp pages. This is how I found y'all stuff, man. I just go and I look and I look and I look, and I found it looking for stuff for my live stream, and I have 2 different playlists. One is on my YouTube channel, and then one's on my it's YouTube, and one's on shit, I don't know the other one's on. Might be Bandcamp. Yeah. But I constantly look for new stuff, and then I write them down on my little. I have a notepad on my phone, and I literally type it in so I don't forget it. And then I have a line drawn at the bottom. So every time it gets to the line, that's bands I haven't heard yet, or that I've only heard a little bit of. And then if it's below the line, that means that I've featured it on the show. So I'm trying not to double up too much. But I go through and I do D-beat, crust, grindcore, power violence, oi, street rock, pub rock, do whatever kind of different subgenre I can find. I'm covering it, and that's what I do on Sundays. And I've got hundreds of bands that I've covered, and I might repeat them occasionally, but it's not usually on purpose, unless it is like an actual like was it War Cycle? I've gone through twice and put them on because they're so freaking rad. But yeah, I love doing that shit, man. I discover quite a few bands that I truly, really enjoy, and I buy a lot of stuff from them off of Bandcamp and try to get tapes in so I can have some stuff in my store. And just I don't care about making a profit on this. I just want to have it in there to have people come in and go, "Oh, what is this?" And then I tell them, "And can we listen to it?" And I play a song and they go, "Oh shit, yeah." It happens pretty regularly where some young kid comes in with $15 and they're like, "Hey man, got any metal I've never heard before?" I'm like, "I don't know, let's check it out." We start looking and see what I've got, and then I go, "Shit, you want to hear it?" We just play it on the stereo, and then if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But it's like my way of giving back to the community. I just buy as much of it as I possibly can afford to buy. And like when the channel inevitably gets monetized, people are gonna hate it at first because I'm gonna put ads on the videos. But every single dollar that comes into from this channel, every penny, because I don't need the money, it's gonna go into buying stuff on Bandcamp, putting out records. That's all it's for. That's it. That's all it's for. People can bitch and complain if they want. The people that understand how this works are going to be like super appreciative, I think. So I'm pretty excited to get the channel to grow more too.
At the end of the day, if you want to keep your stuff going and you want to keep exposing people to bands, which, you know, fucking very appreciated, like, yeah, you gotta make some money, you know, one way or the other.
It's an unfortunate evil.
I don't blame people for putting ads on their stuff. I mean, you know, it's just kind of what you have to do if you want to make a living. Like the you know, things are hard right now enough for people getting jobs, making money, trying to make a living. And if so, I respect anybody that tries to make a living outside of like the rat race and just the bullshit, you know, because if you're trying to do something creative and you're trying to in turn especially expose other people and the creative things they're doing and make a living off that, like, that's awesome. I think there needs to be more of that.
I got break even.
I would love to have an opinion on this too. So the reason that even was something I thought of is because I had uploaded an EP. I don't remember the band, but I uploaded an EP. It was like 5 songs. It was like 12 minutes or something like that. It was really good. And this dude put a comment and he said, "Fuck this channel. You put ads on this EP. You're trying to make money off of somebody else's work." And it really bothered me. I was like, "What?" And I was like, "What does this dude think I'm doing?" And so like, I just kind of thought about it. It's like, what does he even mean? And I was like, "What are you talking about, bro?" And he's like, "You're taking somebody else's album and you're uploading it and you're putting ads on it. And so you're getting paid from their art." And I was like, the fact that I even have to do this is so frustrating. But I was like, yo, I bought 4 copies of their tape and I haven't. And I was like, I've made back 10% of one tape on this video. I put it up to get them exposure. And I couldn't believe the guy was pissed off. But there's these, you know, there's a certain amount of people that are going to be pissed about that. Like, what's y'all opinion? Does that bother you guys?
Well, I think the thing is, I mean, you were providing additional commentary for it as well. I mean,
on this one, I was not. It was a straight upload. But I put the artwork. I changed the artwork a little bit. Like, you know, I made it kind of move. But I also put like because the other ones I found, I didn't have this. I put the band, where it was, where they were from, like the name of the album, the song, like how many songs, what the length of it was, what label, and a link to where you could buy it. So I put all that information on there because most people just put like the cover art and put it up. And I was like, I want to put something on there. So I put that information.
I think Garrett.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely good. Get that exposure out there and all that. I don't know too much on it, but it's good to get the word out there. It's not like you're doing this intentionally to capitalize on it. It's not the intent.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, how much money do you think I'm making off this video? 15 cents? Like, come on.
Links too. Yeah. You're tagging the band. You're providing links. You're saying, hey, here's these guys that are doing this thing.
Always.
So it's not like you're just taking it. No, you know, it's basically a free advertisement in a sense for the band. So,
like people like us just
Yeah.
getting out there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that is insane. Like someone else is talking about us. Holy cow.
That's kind of how I felt. I was really surprised, but I mean, you guys know those kind of punk rockers, right? Like the guys that are like, no, it's like everything they do is just so like they don't ever want to they don't want to admit that you have to have like money to live. Like, yeah, does it suck? Sure, yeah, money's the root of all evil. Of course it sucks. But like, what are you gonna do, man? Like I have to be able to recoup something so I can put more of this on here for you to listen to and complain at me. Like,
You got to hit the world, man. I mean, that's the reality that we live in, and this is through it.
Yeah, I mean, and I can understand people's resentment towards the way things work and the system and whatnot, but you know, trying to change the system is good, and hopefully we can get there one day. But for a lot of people, they're basically living in the reality that is what it is. You have to make money somehow, and
have to.
I would say there's a good expression that is there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, which means a lot of different things. Capitalism. But basically it means that, like a lot of people can't control their circumstances, and it's not feasible for them to do anything other than a 9-to-5 job. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's like the vast majority of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most of them have more than that. They have like a 9-to-5 and a part-timer. Like they have, I mean,
Yeah.
I work 70 hours a week, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm all for changing the system to where, it's easier for people and stuff. Absolutely. But I mean, there are some people, I get the choice to drop out of society and be, like a crust punk and live in like the woods in North California or like op trains or whatever. Like I'm cool with all that. That's awesome. I have a lot of friends. We have a lot of friends that are in that kind of life, but at the same time, it's not feasible for everyone. There are a lot of people who aren't living that life. A lot of people who have kids.
Some people just don't want to, like me. I am not doing that. I'm not built for that shit.
If I didn't have kids, dude, I'd be hopping a train to New York right fucking now, dude.
Well, like,
on my way.
You know what sucks? This is going to be me being really honest, and this is hard to do in front of people, man, but I'm trying to get better at this stuff.
Yeah.
Me even worrying about that is like my insecurities, right? I don't need to prove anything to anybody, man. The proof is in the pudding, dude. I do a lot for the community, and I don't have to go out and advertise that and prove it. People know. You guys know. These guys know. My wife and my kids know. So, like, but it's like this insecure part of me where I'm like, man, I don't want these guys to dislike me, but why do I give a shit? They're going to be like that anyways. What do I care? But, it's weird, man.
Like giving a shit is a way to put it, but also at the same time, it's just like, you just got to explain and people got to understand, it's like you're running a business, doing promotion, getting a little bit of ads off of something that you're uploading. Like for you, like putting our shit up and it would just be like the album or something like that, and there's an ad on it and somebody ripped on you. It's like fucking, fuck, man. If we saw that comment, we'd hop on there. It's like, hey, we appreciate the fuck that I did that, and for them to make even like fucking
dude,
I think the fuck.
And it's like, what have you done for this band?
Yeah,
you haven't.
Dude,
see, you found us on TikTok, and you found actually like our third video that we ever put up on TikTok or whatever.
Oh, nice.
The first couple videos had fucking haters, dude.
Oh, yeah.
The motherfuckers were like
What?
off on us, like called us all kinds of names and shit, and it was like, okay, maybe TikTok isn't the move. And then we uploaded that, and that one blew the fuck up, and that's the one you saw, and everybody was fucking loved it, right?
Isn't that weird? People are so silly.
It's on your audience, really, and like,
And the thing you got to remember too about having those people is they're stupid anyway, because they're falling into the trap of
you're still
looking at
boosting
your
my
video,
shit.
commenting on my video. That's just clicks. That's just clicks.
Yeah.
And you're making it easier for the people who are actually going to like what they're going to see
To
see
find
it
it.
because
Yeah.
you're just advancing it.
You
So
need-
it's like,
What a weird world, dude.
give me the juice, baby.
Exactly.
This is such a strange existence, man. So weird. I love it, but it's so weird.
It's a trip.
People like to talk shit, so
There's
they
just-
feel better about themselves. Dude.
No, dude. A lot of people are just
There, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people are deflecting shit that's hitting them, and they're doing it to others.
For them anyway. You know,
Yep.
the people that talk shit on us, well, fuck you, because
Don't
we
listen,
weren't- don't
motherfucker.
listen. Scroll past, you know.
Dude, I just had a conversation with a guy about that. He was bitching about one of my videos, and I was like, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't fucking care.
Was basically.
Yeah.
So have y'all played a couple of shows since we last talked, or no? I can't remember. I can't remember who's doing what. I know these guys played a show the other night.
Yeah, Lucky Liquor last Sunday. That was a fucking killer
Up
show.
in Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Fucking perfect example of last time we talked, the night before we played this like gigantic ass fucking theater. So our friend Tim Filer and friends Tim Filer, Eddie McNally, Pat McNally, they all opened McFiler's. So that was like kind of our starter spot of Lewis County.
Okay.
Fucking rad bar and
Great
grill.
place. McFiler's.
Yeah, McFiler's is the shit. And then so they're kind of like, you know, they're growing and all that shit. So they bought this fucking cool old school theater that used to, I mean, I think that's where I fucking saw Spider-Man when I was a kid and all that type of
Oh
shit.
wow.
So
Dark Knight.
yeah, exactly. And that shit
Yeah.
was closed down for years. So they bought that shit out and now made it into a live venue where comedy's happening. We played a memorial show there the night before we talked with you. Fucking all this badass shit.
It's
It was awesome.
huge.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
It's fucking
great
sick.
restaurant.
So-
bar.
Great
Well, they have the
restaurant
bar. They have a little bar, which is mostly where we played. Kind of just like a
Yeah.
nice little bar and grill. We actually like playing there somewhat better because it's a little more personal and stuff.
Yeah,
And then they have this
home.
really, really beautiful theater. I mean, just really like beautiful Art Deco
It's so-
style. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Big
so
screen
awesome.
in the back.
It's
We
amazing
had
to play
Terminator
on like
2 playing behind
Oh
us.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
Terminator
all the
2,
motherfuckers
baby.
melting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Boom.
it used to be a movie theater?
Yeah, it used
Yeah.
to
Oh,
be
that's like a dream of mine to take an old movie theater and make it into like a place kind of like that.
totally. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's perfect for like burlesque shows and comedy shows and stuff. So
Yeah.
I would want to have one of the rooms be like a bookstore, record store too, man, and have it like
so that's
oh,
so you're saying so multiple rooms, like multiple screens, or whatever. This is such an old school theater. It's literally just one.
oh, it's just one. Oh, that's awesome too, man.
Right. Exactly. So
Oh, that's badass.
what I was getting at here is like, so it was the perfect example of like whether it's really cool playing this like gigantic ass theater or playing a very small dive bar or something like
Yeah.
that. So like the theater, it was fucking phenomenal. It's awesome, but like our style of music, I mean, like we want everybody to basically be on our ass, you know, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
fucking everybody to be fucking moshing and touching and shit.
Yeah.
It's a gigantic place. So that was great. But then go to Lucky Liquor, and then everybody's like right
Right up
fucking
in
right,
your grill.
right in front
Yeah.
of stage
Yeah.
and all these
We
bros.
It's
love that
fucking sick.
personal-
I love that
personal energy.
Yeah.
So good, that energy.
I like to feel the crowd's vibe,
Yeah.
you know.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
I
Oh,
like-
absolutely.
Crowd participation. I
Right.
mean, that's a key
Yeah.
factor in
Hell
hard.
yeah.
You know, everything. The whole
Yeah.
thing is crowd, man. It's all about the crowd. You know.
100%.
I got this in a few weeks. I'm going to see CMI play with this band called Liberty and Justice, who are from here. They're from some friends of mine, and another band called True Intentions. They're like oi bands, but I know the singers of both bands for like 20 something years, right? And dude, the place that they're going to be playing in is so little. I'm like, oh man, like this is gonna be fun, but it's gonna be wild. It is a little tiny, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be. I'm gonna try to film as much as I can, but whew, I'm a little nervous, bro. It's gonna be wild out there.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a factor too. Is how big your band is. Because I mean, at the level we're at, you know, it works for us to play bars and little.
Yeah,
Because we have, you know, a smaller following, and we can really get the house packed.
yeah,
Bigger because it's not as much people, it seems more sparse. But like once you get higher and higher up the ladder and you build a bigger and bigger following, I mean, that's what it's all about. Pretty soon you're packing big ass places, and yeah.
can't wait, bro. I know y'all are gonna get there too. It's so exciting, man. Hell yeah. Woo!
Yeah. With
Yeah.
that being said, we're actually headlining at the substation June 29th. So
Let's go.
have you listened to Full of Hell? I can't remember if you have.
I'm not sure. I'm writing it down though.
Full of Hell, awesome big band, fucking really sweet. I love this band. Fucking last time I was telling you, fucking I love The Body, and fucking they do collaboration records with them. Big band is what I'm saying. So fucking literally sold out this gigantic venue called the Substation, and now we're headlining at the Substation on the 29th.
Yes.
That's so dope. Oh, I love it. And I love that y'all are still so like excited to be playing music, because I do talk to a lot of people.
Of course. That's
And-
what we do.
bro.
I
Man.
mean, like I was saying earlier, man, like the rat race is shit, and if there's any way that we can do something other than bust our fucking chops all day to make a living and do something creative to make our way in life, then that's what we're gonna do. We love music. I mean, we all live and breathe music, so yeah.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they asked me about, like, why do you do so much stuff when you're really smart? You could go get a job doing whatever they said it was. And I was like, well, I said, I work bartending like 3 days a week. I work at my little shop 2 days a week. I do all the like videos and the printing and the art and stuff. And I said, yeah, I guess every week it's a lot of hours. It's like 70, 80 hours a week. I said, but I can kind of just do what I want, man. I get to put out records, and so I don't have like a corporate type of boss, really. I guess kind of Alamo Draft House, kind of, I guess, but I'm only there 3 days a week, man. Everything else I do is for me. If I really need money, I go paint something and put it on Etsy. And if I really need more money than that, I go out and I find somebody that needs some shirts printed or something. Like, I just make my own shit happen, and it's so much more feels good. When you go to work at a place you hate, you're never happy.
And yeah, man, fucking same type of vibe, dude. Fucking like I was telling you, me and Garrett, we work together at Westside Tavern, like cooking our asses off. I mean, he works fucking 6 days a week, and I work 4 days a week.
This guy works his fucking ass off.
Yeah,
You're doing cooking too?
Yeah.
Great chefs, both of these two guys right here, man.
Right.
That's gonna help you on tour when you don't have a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
That's our next thing, dude. All right, yeah. Well, I've been wanting to like have kind of like a vegan pop-up trailer for like.
Oh, are you vegan?
A lot of years, yeah. Definitely.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've been
that's
vegan.
Hard. That's hard to do.
Haven't eaten meat for 15, but
15, huh?
Yeah, fucking. So with our van and all that shit, it's got a tow hitch and all that shit. So hopefully on tour, at our shows when we're not playing, we can also be making everybody food and shit like that.
Wow. Fuck, I'm glad I met you guys, dude. That's awesome, dude.
But we want
and kind of like self-fund the tour through making the food. So it's pretty smart.
You guys remind me of like all of my buddies growing up, dude. I feel like I'm just rewinding it and like talking to my buddies from back then, because I'm way older than you guys. But everything you're saying is exactly like shit, dude. You even kind of look like my old roommate John, who was also vegan, dude, he's the first person that ever introduced me to these things called recipe crumbles. It's like a meat. I don't know if they still make them or not, but they were like, it was like a meat substitute. And
yeah, fucking. Well, I mean, Morningstar and fucking Gardein, all those.
I'm almost positive it was a Morningstar thing. They also for a while they were what's it called when you can eat fish?
It's pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
So for a long time they were doing that because they weren't. He was suffering from something. His doctor was like all over his ass. His doctor really wanted him eating chicken and beef, and he wouldn't do it. He's like, fine, I'll eat tuna fish and salmon. And the doctor's like, I guess. But for like 2 years, we were eating a lot of tuna helper, bro. Oh god, that shit's so fucking gross.
That shit blows, man.
No, when we found the recipe crumbles and we could start going back to just like regular ass like stuff that was like, quote unquote meat, we would make tacos and shit with it. So I mean, to me, I'm a meat eater, so it didn't really taste like meat, but it was such a. I mean, I was thrilled to have that in our diet versus this other shit they were eating, man. But that's a hard life, dude. Being a vegan, it's tough to go out and do things sometimes, and
I guess fucking so like,
or do it healthy, anyways. I mean, it's easy to get French fries everywhere.
Saying like, so like, I mean, fuck, man, I turned vegetarian when I was 12 years old, and everybody was like, dude, you're like the first vegetarian I've ever met in my life, and I'm like,
12 years old, huh?
And then they're like, what are you gonna eat, dude? Where are you gonna eat? Nobody fucking does that shit. And like my mentality on it this entire time has been, I think in 10 years, I'm gonna have a lot more places to eat. Now there's fucking vegan restaurants all over.
That's true. That is true.
And like I'm getting more. It's every day from here on out, and today, it's the easiest day to be vegan in anybody's life, man.
You got to see it from my point of view. I'm in Houston, dude. We don't have none of that shit down here. Like there's like in downtown, there's a few places like that, and you can find places that have some dishes, but it is not easy to do that down here. Like I mean, I don't know that it's a ton easier where you're at, but it's a little probably maybe.
All your own food mostly.
Not in Centralia. Really, it's not exactly. Well, I mean, a couple restaurants that have like the fucking Beyond Burger or the Impossible
Yeah.
Burger. But honestly, so another thing with our deal, when we open this little pop-up thing, we want to do zero, like store-bought zero or fucking soy-based products and shit like that. So
Okay.
me and Garrett as chefs, so like we've cooked a lot of fucking different like awesome meat substitutes or fillers or whatever that
Okay.
aren't made of soy. It's all just like certain spices and glazes and fucking marinades that you do to vegetables or
Dude, you clearly know what you're talking about. This is fascinating.
definitely, yeah, it's really cool, man. And we fucking, I mean, like a bacon slice and all that shit, man. So like fucking, if you cut a slice off of a pig and throw it on the grill, it doesn't taste like bacon. It's all the seasonings and all that shit that are put into it. So I mean, like, fuck, I mean, I do these carrot slices and shit. I mean, bacon, I understand that's
I
hard
never
to
thought of that.
deal or whatever, but the taste of bacon is soy sauce, liquid smoke, maple syrup, and pepper, right? So if you put that,
You're blowing my mind. Hold on, what? You can make a carrot taste like that?
you can make everything taste like bacon with that mixture right there. So yeah,
Eggplant's a good substitute on that.
definitely, man.
I gotta go to fucking Washington so I can hang out with you and show me all this stuff. Dude, a carrot, you just fucked me up a little bit, dude. I can't even believe I heard that just now.
Chefs.
Yeah,
Yes, chef.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Thank you, chef.
Another thing to think about too is like, I mean, the meat replacement thing or substitute is good, but there's also a lot of dishes out there that you don't really need to like a meat replacement. Like it's just delicious, whatever
Without
it
the
is,
meat
without the
replacement,
meat.
too. Without the meat.
yeah. I mean, for those that choose that, I don't want that. I want to eat meat. I'm gonna continue to eat
I
meat.
eat meat. I eat
But like,
Easier
so
for people. It's good for transitioning for a lot of people.
yeah. Well, I'm on a mission to get to know you guys better. I mean, I'm hoping that we're gonna be talking for a long time. So, fucking 12, dude. Okay, explain that to me, please. How'd that happen when you were 12?
So so a lot of people fucking like have the struggle of I want to be vegetarian, and they do it by themselves with this fucking like meat eating family or some shit like that, and then falling out. So me and like 4 other buddies. I mean, vegan and vegetarianism has been a thing in like the extreme music community for a long time.
For a long time.
Like fucking Napalm Death and shit like that. Those guys are a lot of yeah, fucking cattle decapitation. Ironically enough, they're all vegetarian and shit like
Are
that.
they really?
Yeah, totally, dude. Fucking
that's amazing.
and they have a sticker, fucking let me toss your salad, I'm vegetarian and all that shit, right? So
is that why they're called cattle decapitation?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Talking about the industry.
they're talking about the industry, exactly.
One of my buddies is that's his favorite band. I'm sure he knows that, I guess, but I didn't know that.
And then so then you see fucking their album Harvest Floor, which is a like factory farm, but in the the track where the cows usually are, it's actually just a bunch of cops. So so that shit's tight. And then Humanure is another thing. Fucking, it's like,
I've got that one.
Yeah,
I got one of their tapes signed. It's in my living room.
Awesome.
And the first band to really do that was Carcass, bro. Carcass, like back in
how did I not know this?
late 80s or whatever. They're a fucking grindcore band from England, super fucking sick. And yeah, they basically kind of started the whole like gore grind thing, and they were all vegan, vegetarian dudes, and like their whole thing is that exact point, like like kind of just like treating people as if they were animals, replacing the whole thing. And it was just ironic because all of their album covers and stuff have like dead bodies and like real dead bodies and shit on there, but they're like these total vegan dudes and stuff. So it's interesting.
I had no idea.
Yeah, fucking there's this one fucking documentary. I think it's just something involving grindcore or something like that. History of grindcore. Napalm Death talked about a lot, and it's like that. They're just fucking crazy punk rock hippies, Fucking they all love each other, dirty, and fucking they just are all vegetarian and shit like that.
So okay, continue with what you're saying though, because we kind of veered off. So what made you do it?
So anyways, the end point is first of all health reasons and stuff like that. I mean, I saw it as something. Well, Okay, not first of all, it was one of the main reasons. I was a very large kid and all that shit. So like,
Okay.
like literally 145 as a 27-year-old right now, but I was 190 in 8th grade when I turned vegetarian.
Gotcha.
Right? So fucking, I was like, okay, cool. I can get skinny with my other buddies and all that shit, and fucking. So that was cool. But then also with that, I mean, learning about factory farming and how it's fucking just like totally fucking ridiculous amounts, like Holocaust levels to animals, fucking of death and fucking suffering. So that is bullshit. I'm like, I like animals. I don't want to be a part of that, right? So fucking with some of my idols being vegan and vegetarian, and then that I was like, I want to be like these motherfuckers. So that's cool. And then yeah, just fucking years and years down the road. I mean, like, so like we're all talking about driving cars and how that is ruining the environment and all that type of shit. But I mean, one of the leading causes of fucking like global warming and all that shit and like ruining our oceans is totally animal agriculture. So I mean, to lower that demand as much as possible is actually saving the planet.
Bro, that's wild, man. For a kid that's, I mean, I'm assuming that when you were 12 is more for health reasons, and it got to be these other things as you kind of grew and learned about it and became more ingrained in who you were. I would assume you started to find other reasons to want to continue that lifestyle.
Dude, I fucking I went to college for business administration and management. I took a public speaking class and fucking you know, it was like a persuasive speech or whatever, and talked about factory farming and how everybody should. I've now given up on, dude, go vegan, bro, go vegetarian, because that makes us look like dicks, man. We're not like trying to push the lifestyle.
Just like religious folks, stop pushing it on people. They might want to go towards it a little bit more.
And what it's all about is like, hey, I mean, like, just understand like what's happening. And what I did is for my whole class, I was like, okay, now after everything I've told you, I want everybody to write down on a piece of paper the last time you didn't have an animal product in something you fucking ate. And then 2 people were able to answer out of a class of 25. Ooh. And then, so yeah, I'm just like, I do talk about like, hey man, like, try my vegan food, go to this vegan restaurant. Because if somebody is doing like a meatless Monday or whatever, that lowers the demand, which will eventually fucking, you know, help the planet and all that shit. Like, the amount of shit that goes into our oceans, which is something like 5,428, I don't fucking know, you know, something like that. Gallons of shit going into our ocean per minute from animal agriculture. Fucking, it, you know, it will cause fishless oceans by 2040 and shit like that. So, I mean,
wow.
I like to talk about it and all that stuff. It's cool.
No, that's amazing. I mean, I was fascinated by that. I'm not going to even act like it's something I could commit to because I don't think I had that in me. But really? The idea of like a meatless Monday, that I have in me. That's a fucking awesome idea.
Totally.
There was a place called Mize down here. I used to go there and I used to get I don't know how this ranks amongst like what's good for the environment or whatever, but I used to get this garlic tofu dish, and I got that every single time I went there instead of the garlic beef. And it's because all my friends were vegetarian and some of them were vegan, and so I tried it and it was really good, so I just ate it there. And like if I went there now, that's what I would still get. So like there's ways you can you can contribute to that without being like a full-on vegan. You don't have to be militant about it in order to help. And I think that's where people start to not understand. You don't have to do 100% to do 50%. You could do 50% to do 50%.
Definitely. And like, just to answer your question about the tofu and the environment and all that shit.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So like the whole thing is like, I do agree that's fucking awesome, but like in fact, so like soy products are
is that what tofu is?
Yeah, it's soy, right?
Okay, I don't know very little about it.
Soy and everything. So soy and palm oil are one of the shitty things that we should be trying to avoid.
Okay.
So just because that is one of the leading causes of deforestation and all that shit. So.
Oh, okay.
Soybean farms are actually make it impossible to farm anything else onto anything like.
I've actually heard that before.
Right. So soy sucks.
Okay.
Animal agriculture also sucks. So I mean, like, fucking to do the soy every once in a while at least. So deforestation, yes, but that is less shit going into our oceans. You know, there's fucking evils on both sides.
Well, I mean, even stuff like almonds. I've heard recently that there's issues with almonds being transported. I don't know exactly what they were talking about, but I heard this guy was being a dick about. He was being a douchebag to these people that were, I believe, vegan, and they were eating a lot of avocados and almonds. But it sucks because every time I think I find an alternative to something, it turns out that it's just doing something else. I guess I don't know. It's really hard for me to figure out as just who I am.
Yeah, eventually humans will go extinct and then the plant will grow again, man.
That's likely the case, actually. I mean, it's almost certainly going to happen. Like, I thought, oh man, it's good for me to drink almond milk because it's better for the environment because it doesn't hurt, it's not affecting any cows, and then it's like, oh, I find out that almonds are bad. I'm like, what the shit, man? You should probably just drink water, to be honest, but
One of the best things is just find out what's growing seasonal and local in your area.
Boom.
And if you try to stick to that a little bit more, we're lucky enough to live around a lot of farms here. So we get a lot of local agriculture. And if you can kind of stick to that, that's less transportation and you can eat some really fresh ingredients and stuff in your area and just find a balance in it.
That's a really, really good point.
Frozen, meats that are shipped from Wisconsin or something. Like getting things in your area and what's seasonal, it makes a huge difference for transportation, for local business, and for your health in general, because that's...
Yes, there's a lot that goes into other shit. It takes other stuff to get to you. And that's a good point. I never really thought about that, but I have noticed a larger number, I'll say, of places that have signs, farm to table, like we're only bringing stuff from, like our menu changes all the time because we don't know what we're gonna have. And
totally.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that shit's cool, man. I love stuff like that.
And that's one of the best things you could do too. Is a lot of it is just simply on an environmental effect level. Like a lot of it has to do with the way that food is produced and manufactured and shipped out, and those systems and stuff that are fucked up. But like, so basically what Garrett said, it's a great point of like, eating local and eating stuff that like small time independent farmers, supporting local farmers and independent farmers in your dietary habits or whatever in your food is probably one of the best things that you can realistically do for the environment, because it's the big companies that harvest nuts and vegetables and soy products and stuff, and it's the big companies that do the mass slaughter and mass caging of animals and all of those things. It's both sides are fucked up. It's not necessarily one or the other. I mean, there's an ethical debate about eating animals, but that's another subject. As far as the environment goes, they're both equally fucked up, and it has to do with the way that it's run. The system that we have, everything is mass produced. Everything is huge quantities. So like we're just taking and fucking the environment up because we're trying to get all this stuff out to millions of people. And to where if we had a different system to where everybody just ate what was locally available to them, we wouldn't need that mass production stuff that really fucks up the environment.
We'd be much healthier as people as well. Like, it's weird too, because the same exact argument goes into business on just a business front. The reason that people don't do that other stuff and we do go to like Walmart, Kroger, wherever and get your groceries is because it's more affordable, and we don't have the money to go do this stuff, because if you do shop local and you do shop small, it is more expensive. I'm a small business owner. I can tell you for a fact I make far less money and still have to charge more for my things than these other people do, right? But I got people that come to my store to support small. So like if everybody would get into the mindset of doing a little bit more, because it's not as easy, it's more difficult. Dude, everything's difficult. Nothing worth a shit is easy to get. Like we all know this. We've been taught that our whole lives. We know, but we'd still, myself included, I'm not free of guilt here, decide, oh, well, it's easier to go do wada. So we go do that. And then that creates these big businesses and corporations that are able to take advantage of that. And then we all get into these habits of being lazier about it. Talking to you guys genuinely makes me want to try to adjust my diet a little bit. It's crazy what talking to people that, because y'all are clearly passionate about it. It took a weird segue to get to this conversation, but I'm super glad that we had it. Like, I mean, dude, I'm not scared of nothing, bro. I'll talk about any subject because I'm okay with my flaws. And I'm also willing to learn and grow. I'm willing to be kind. I'm willing to make mistakes. I'm okay with all that. So none of this shit's gonna bother me, man. Like, people can fuck right off if they don't like something I'm saying, because I'm never the kind of guy that's gonna say some shit with like ill intent. I don't do that. Like, I just don't. And if I make a mistake, okay, I'm willing to live with it. But and that goes as far as everything, man. But it's the same kind of shit. We don't have quality labor because people want to just cheap out. They don't want to. At where I work, they're constantly bitching. Man, our bartender in the back, because we have like a separate back bar that services all the theaters. They're like, oh, the back bartenders are not doing their job right. They're blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you got 18-year-olds because you won't pay them enough to hire somebody 25. You only want to hire these kids and pay them as little as you can. So they don't give a shit. What do they care? Pay somebody what they're worth and they'll work a little harder. Not everybody. Okay, then you fire the ones that won't and you hire somebody until you find somebody worth their weight. And it's just, it's always too much trouble. It's always too much. That's the way it is on everything that we can talk about. Any subject you guys want to bring up, it's the same thing. Food, it's too hard to do all that. Yeah, I get it. It's tough. I get it. I got 3 kids. It's hard to feed them all. It's hard to do all that. But maybe talking to some people that I'm now friends with, it motivates me to want to do some small little thing. And that small little thing turns into a medium thing. The medium thing turns into a little bit bigger. And who knows in 2 years what my habits might be if I just start now. We don't know. I mean, it does take, you have to, it's just like drug addiction. You got to take the first step, dude. You got to take the first day sober.
100%. Yeah. People that are the fucking, same way every 5 years and never change their mentalities means that they just like can't evolve and stuff.
They're not growing.
So they're not growing.
So like, I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't drink. I haven't had a sip of alcohol in 2 years.
Since
on
our
19th.
first practice.
Since our
Good
first
shit, man.
I met these motherfuckers, and I was like, okay, if I keep drinking, I'm gonna die. No.
So it ain't for everybody, man. It's not. I mean, I can't do it either. I can't drink because it turns into other drugs and stuff.
I have a 5-year-old daughter, and like I quit drinking for her because obviously I can't be a good dad if I'm sloppy drunk all the time. You can't have, for me at least. I mean, some people are functioning alcoholics and whatever. I pray, good for them, but not.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy that drinks like 2 beers and is ready to fight.
Well, that's the thing about this guy is he gets pissed. Like he just gets that little bit too much in him. It's a serious Jekyll and Hyde.
It's a wrap. The evening is going down.
Yeah. I know a couple of functioning addicts, dude. I don't have it in me, man. I'm all in or I'm all out.
Alcoholic for a long time, and what started me wanting to quit was just something I wanted to do for myself. I was like, okay, I need to fucking get my life together, and like I'm gonna push everyone around me away continuously if I keep doing this thing, right? And just being fucked up all the time. So it's like one day at a time eventually builds into 1 week, 1 month.
That's exactly what I meant earlier.
You have to really pursue it to see results and shit. And once you see those results, you don't look back.
Dude, I just want to say we applaud the fuck out of this motherfucker. I mean,
I'm happy for you.
I mean, does he?
They're the best alcoholic friends that I could possibly be around as a non-alcoholic.
Is he chain smoking and smoking a bunch of weed? Yes, but
I smoke weed all day.
Have I been swinging off this bottle this whole time? Is Garrett fucking? We're always, we're partying around this guy all the time. He's been staying strong.
Well, they're the kind of friends that'll kick my ass if they ever see me touching alcohol because they know it's that important to me.
Some people try to buy a beer, and I'm like, whoa.
Dude. People give me the weirdest looks at work when I'm like giving them a drink and they're like, hey, can I buy you a drink? I'm like, I don't drink anymore. They're like, what? How could you bartend? I'm like, it's so much easier. I don't drink. What do you mean? How do I bartend? I wouldn't be drinking anyways. I'm at work.
Watch any old gangster movie, dude. The one making the most money is the one not getting high on his own supply, right?
Facts.
Well, and personally, I would hate to be a bartender while I'm drunk, dude. Like having to deal with all those fucking assholes while I'm drunk. I'd be like, fuck you, fuck this,
dude.
Fuck you. You're cool.
Yes, I'm out. Throws the burger at that guy. Pink. Dude, like I've been a bartender where I was drinking, man. I've worked at a lot of bars and I used to drink a lot. And yeah, as a matter of fact, that guy I ran into at my store today, he was talking to me. He's like, man, how you been doing? I said, dude, I'm coming up on 10 years sober. And he was like, wow. He's like, I never thought you would ever. I was like, bro, you and me both, man. I used to be. I mean, the stuff I can't even talk about on this because it'll get my channel in trouble. I can't even. I mean, it's like the shit I used to do is so. I mean, I owe the universe a lot of gratitude that I'm still around, man. Like,
Me
but
too.
you know, it's cool, man. It's good to see people that are y'all's age still give a shit. I know y'all aren't like, you know, kids, but you're younger than I am, and it's like I always wondered, like, okay, when I get a little older, am I gonna be the last of the Mohicans, man? Am I gonna be the last guy out there trying to make a change? And because it is kind of concerning. People are, whether we agree on things or not, is almost irrelevant because most people aren't trying to make a change anyways. They're all just trying to sit on their ass and be bums. You know, it's like, man, well, let's all link up and try to make some kind of change. You got to start somewhere. It's
Yeah, dude. The generations of people that are trying to change the world. I mean, like they're always going to come. It's about every 3 to 5 years that there's a solid wave of punk rockers and shit like that.
Yeah.
it is kind of like every like half decade, you know, get a nice good crop of bands and good people that are trying to do some cool shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
You guys, have y'all seen any cool movies or heard any new records or anything recently?
Fucking Drain, dude. Drain just released Living Proof, dude, and they're out of Santa Cruz, where I'm from, and yeah, like legendary fucking hardcore.
Didn't
man.
you do a video on?
I was
Drake?
gonna say I did a really, really good video. I worked very hard on it.
So
Yeah,
fucking
sick.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Drain fucking release is so hot. My
Dude.
God.
Check this shit out. This is how dumb your boy is, bro. I didn't even realize that was a fucking Descendants cover because I don't like the fucking Descendants. So like,
Hey,
what?
Urban Home, dude. Come on.
I hate that band, bro. But like, I was like, man, this band, this one song sounds so weird. I wonder why some guy was in the comments. He's like, yeah, it's like a Descendants cover. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. It sounded familiar. I'm like, shit, I'm an idiot. I was like, bro, that Drain record's good though.
It definitely came out of fucking left field for sure. It's like it's such a like compared to fucking California Curse. I mean, like it's Drain. It's that type of like beat down hardcore, but I mean it's getting really fucking heavy, dude. That's awesome. And then a pretty light, you know, punk, just fucking.
It was so weird.
There, it's super weird. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Well, I mean, they come from the same thing. Fuck, Descendants are old school, you know. It's old school punk. I mean, it might be like poppy punk or whatever, but like,
fuck, dude,
you know,
we're working on a
Descendants are.
cover, right?
Yeah, we're doing.
Are you really?
Cover.
Let's go.
Hey man, punk is hardcore, you know, hardcore is punk, man. I mean, obviously it's the whole thing of like before hardcore even existed as like a separate genre,
It was just punk.
hardcore punk, you
Yeah.
know, was the original thing, is hardcore punk. And then hardcore kind of became its own thing. But, you know, the roots are still there. It might have kind of branched off into its own thing, but the roots are still very much there. So
That's why.
Do
Do you guys listen to Terror at all?
Yeah, I love
yeah,
Terror.
badass.
So I did a video on Lowest of the Low recently, and that's exactly was my main focal point, was that it still feels like a punk album, even though it's a hardcore record. And I was like, it still feels like it doesn't have hardly any metal shit in it, which is fine. I like metal okay too. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of metal myself, but like I like it in the heart. I get it. I understand why it's there. But like Terror's that particular record still feels like a punk rock album, and that's what drew me to it. But yeah, man, we have a lot of the same tastes in music. I'm finding out, man. Like I love that shit.
So you already fucking listened to the Drain record. Do you listen to Incendiary?
I don't know them very well. I've listened to them just a couple of times. I'm starting to get into their music a little bit.
Yeah, their record like 6 years ago, fucking 1,000 Mile Stare, fucking that thing is fucking
I think
start to finish. And then so that band just like, I love when bands that are like badass just are like, all right, here you go. They didn't say fucking anything about it. So they just released a new album like fucking 4 days ago. Shit's awesome.
dude, they did. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, right? Just
Dude, that's what I'll do tonight. Then I'll listen to it and give it a review tomorrow. That's dude. See, I'm telling you, bro. This is what we're doing here, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Awesome.
thank you. I love you.
Yeah, that's what fucking Knock Loose did too with fucking
Orf.
Yeah, fucking. I know, I love those guys.
By the way, I just want to shout out my beautiful girlfriend. Also, come here, baby, for making the
yeah.
that you found us on again.
Yeah, that's rad. Hi, how are you?
Buddy, she's badass. She made our videos. She's fucking
That's
killed.
dope. Dude.
Her
skills are awesome. Seriously, yeah. I mean, that's the whole reason that we're here, basically.
Yeah,
is,
the
you
reason
know,
we're doing this
Liz,
with you is because of her.
you know.
Dude, behind every good punk rock band is a good lady. Like, facts, bro.
Oh, she's the best, dude.
Every band I've ever been around or been a part of or anything, there's been like one dude that's got like a girlfriend or a wife or it's a girl with a girl, whatever. There's like a female or sometimes a gay dude that's back there doing shit like that the other guy's like, oh, I can't, you know, there's so many things that I can't do without my wife. And like it's kind of a thing, man. There's like another person around that kind of helps with shit that the guys or people or girls or whoever can't necessarily get to.
All of our
She
shows, she
sells our
helps merch. She films, she takes pictures, she fucking puts all our videos together.
That's amazing.
You know,
Like she's our number one fan, dude. She's always around. And
that's super rad. And let's not act like it doesn't help to have a pretty lady at the merch table, man. It really does.
And fucking and heads up, so this band that we love, fucking Hail of Rage out of Seattle. So like it's two vocalists and it's
nice.
It's a man and wife. Fucking
Hail of Rage.
Hail of Rage,
so,
baby. That's
so
shit.
the vocalist that I originally saw him in is in a band called Endorphins Lost, and then his wife is a vocalist of a band called Transient, and
that's a good name.
All those fucking bands are
they're all
so
badass,
disgusting.
yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna start doing some these guys yelling at each other songs.
Dual vocals.
It's gonna be great.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love like that stuff, and I'm a big fan of female vocals in heavier music. I really enjoy ladies singing punk rock bands. I enjoy female led I like some female fronted hardcore stuff, but I really like female fronted punk rock like a lot.
X, Anti-Schism, one of the bands that plays around here all the time, they're actually from Tacoma, Denial of Life.
Oh yeah.
They're,
I don't know them.
Made like
crossover,
hardcore thrash crossover band.
Fucking good.
So good. And like
What's it called?
Denial of Life.
I'll check that out too.
Give them a listen.
Give them a
they're
listen,
fucking
dude. You
sick
should
as
cover
fuck.
one of their things.
They're
too,
one of my
man.
favorite bands currently.
Yeah.
For sure.
Have you heard All Thick?
Me and Liz, we
Heard
saw
what?
them.
I think they're called All Thick. ALLTHICC.
No, I haven't heard that.
Dude, okay, so like my buddy that I do my punk rock podcast with, he's like knows the people in this band. I've heard about them. I was shocked when he said he knew who they were, like that he knows them personally. I'm trying to get them to jump on the label because it's like this, I don't know what to call it. Like it's a thick chick, dude. She's like fronts this band and she's like unapologetically thick and like wears like really small clothing and just has this like badass hardcore band. And
I'm way into that.
dude, it is awesome, dude, because this girl doesn't give a fuck. She'll probably beat the shit out of me, bro, like straight up. She's terrifying. I'm like, oh, you're awesome, but don't beat the shit out of me, please. Like, I'm just
Like
you're rad.
hardcore punk bands with female like front, people. That shit is fucking awesome because women have a lot to be pissed about, and in the punk world there is obviously we embrace people who are oppressed, and women are definitely have been oppressed for a long time. So that's true fucking anger. That's real shit. You know what I mean? When they get up there and they scream about their fucking problems, like it's their voice. Their voice against societal misogyny and fucking all of it, all the fucked up, rich white men running the world. When have you fucking seen a female president? I mean, like the list goes on.
Yeah, and that's one of the really cool things about punk.
Sick. It's real.
Yeah, it's totally real, and that's one of the cool things about punk is that you see a lot more of that. With other genres, I love a lot of music. Like I love a lot of different types of music, but punk is especially really cool, and hardcore underground stuff, whatever, because you see a lot more, female and just trans and just different kind of people up on the stage.
It's open for everybody.
It's open for everybody.
And it should be. It shouldn't be closed for anyone, man. That's ridiculous. I think if you're coming into a place and you're like, hey man, I got something that I need to try. I have really bad ADHD, so if I look like I'm doing something else, I'm trying to focus on what you're saying.
Oh, it's fine. We've been like fidgeting and like touching stuff this whole time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you get into a good conversation, you don't want to like fuck it up. It's a good rhythm, man. And like when you have something and you go somewhere and you're like, hey, look, I want to put myself on the line here. I want to step out of my comfort zone and I want to talk about something that's important to me. And I hope people respond to it. And then when they do respond and it's in a negative way, I just can't even imagine. I mean, I can't imagine. I've had it happen to me before, but I can't imagine for. I don't know, man. It sucks, dude. So yeah, I think people need to like welcome diversity. It shouldn't have to be forced upon you. You should be able to just wake up and be like, "Hey, buddy, I like your style, man. I don't give a shit what you're doing." And like, just as long as you're not harming anybody physically, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just don't get it, man. I don't understand why people are so shitty, dude. Like, I know I have viewpoints that aren't gonna click with people like everybody. We don't all think the same. I just don't understand why you can't just be nice. Like I don't get it. Like it doesn't make any sense. I have people at work that are just shitty. They're just like assholes.
Well, I mean, like fucking being an asshole and like judgment and fucking, you know, segregation, fucking like all that type of shit. That was really wasn't that fucking long ago. So I mean, like
That's
we
true.
have grandparents that were literally in the shit of segregation, which taught that to their kids, and then those kids fucking end up raising, you know, us or whatever, multiple generations. So it's like, you know, we're still weeding out shitty mentalities, you know, as long as that everybody's evolving, it's good.
Yeah,
That's very true because I have POCs in my family and like very, very close family. And my dad was like, man, I don't talk about this very much, but my dad was, I have two older brothers. I'm 41. I got a brother that's like in his mid 50s, right? My dad would be like 80. He was born in a place called Vidor, Texas. It's a disgusting place. Like,
Vider.
Do you know about Vidor?
Vider.
We have a Vader.
Yeah. Vider, I believe it's spelled. It is a racist shithole. It is a terrible place. And I just remember when I was a kid. Do what?
Oh, we have a town around here that's pretty similar called Vader.
It's like two trailers and like a gas station.
They're like
That's,
gang.
of course it's called Vader. Dude, my dad do what?
You were saying?
Sorry.
Oh, my dad told me once because my dad was like, I know he had some like racist shit in him, dude. And he wasn't like outwardly like that, but I know he did because his father was like that, right? And so like that makes me want to try harder because I know that when I was a kid, I heard things that I wouldn't say now. Like I wouldn't repeat that shit. But I remember him telling me, dude, like this is when in the last 100 years this happened. And this is probably like what, 50 years ago from now, maybe 60. So he'd be like in the 80s. Yeah, probably about 60 years ago. He was in Vidor where he grew up. And he was at a gas station where he worked. And a black fella pulled up in a car to get gas. And he got out of the car and he went inside to pay for it. And my dad was like, hey, man, you probably shouldn't stop here and get gas. And the guy's like, what do you mean? I don't have any gas in my car. And my dad's like, look, I'll put the gas in your car. But the longer that you're here, the more dangerous it's going to be for you. And he told me that one night. I don't know if he was drunk or what, but it was like clearly bothering him. And like that wasn't that long. Like you said, it wasn't that long ago, man, that you could tell. And like he said that the guy like he had like a third of a tank and then just peeled out of there. And you know, but that's, I don't know. That's just, it's scary and it's fucking nonsense, bro. I don't know, man. Like it's so stupid.
That's why when people are like, "Well, man, it's 2023, fucking, I can't believe people are even like this." Like, no, we are still in the fight, constantly trying to tell pieces of shit you're not okay.
Yeah.
On the same token, though, it's 2023, man. Grow up, people. Like I kind of can't believe we're still like this. It shouldn't take this damn long. It just does.
Yeah.
That's what we're kind of going for. And the whole thing about that, it's unfortunate because there's a lot of people out there that, you know, it's a thing like he was saying, it's unconscious bias. I mean, really the foundation of our country, you know, a beautiful country, you know, don't get me wrong. I love America, but at the same time, like the foundation of our country is based on let's face it, slavery and genocide of Native Americans and a lot of really bad stuff. And there are reverberations of that are going and are influencing and informing people's mindsets still to this day. And it's unfortunate because, especially I have family members that are, have some opinions that I don't agree with at all. And that kind of goes back to with what you were saying earlier, like, and I do not agree with their opinions at all. I think they're wrong. A hard situation when they're your family, you love them, but it's hard because you really don't agree with what they have to say. And yeah, I mean, a lot of that comes from like basically what he said, it's generally generational stuff. People are taught to think a certain way, they pass it on. And, yeah, it's an unfortunate thing.
I think
that's why it's dicks out there.
Yeah, well, it's so weird because it is a difficult thing, man. It's I think at least unless I'm misunderstanding something, I think every nation started in a really gross way. I can't think of one that probably didn't.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I mean, there are a lot of places have. I mean, a lot of countries have started on really terrible ways, especially colonial ones. Colonial countries such as America and Australia and places like that. They have really shitty beginnings. So a lot of countries do have that, and it's a hard one. But there are plenty of places that people have just been there for a really long time. They just pretty much began there. I mean, like,
well, when I was saying like countries, I definitely didn't mean like. I was talking about like bigger places, not because yeah, of course there's going to be places that have, indigenous peoples that still live there and things, and I don't know. It's a tough argument. It's not an argument at all. It's a tough conversation. It's you have to be able to accept that things were shitty because they've been shitty everywhere. People seem to think that America's the only place that had these shitty problems, is my point. And, there's a lot of places that you could go that are far worse. I don't know. It's a weird, the older I get, the more conflicted I am with this, if I'm honest about it. The more I don't really.
Yeah, I think we just have a lot to say about, America because obviously we live here. And then and the reason why it seems so blown up and like everybody's saying, oh no, why is everybody saying America's the worst place? We're talking about people in America.
We'll talk about people that are around us. We have to address the shit around you before you can fix something or not around you.
Right.
And I mean, I sincerely thought it was pretty rad that he said, I'm proud to be here. I love my country. I thought that was awesome because a lot of people in our positions that are from our groups would say otherwise. And then it's like, well, how can you hate the place where you're from? Wouldn't you take a little pride in trying to fix it instead of saying you hate it? Right. I feel like it's really lazy to be like, oh, fuck this place. I don't like it. It's garbage. And instead of trying to fix something, it's pretty lazy to me.
Yeah. And I'd like to clarify on that too, because, I love America in the sense that I love the country. I love the actual physical place. I love the people that live within it. I think America, by and large, on an individual basis, can be great people. Obviously, I'm an American. We're all Americans here. I love the art and the culture and things that have come from America. I really appreciate a lot of that stuff. I think we've done a lot of cool things, but I think when people criticize America, what they're really saying, what they're really criticizing is the government and different
not so much, man. A lot of people talk about fat ass and lazy Americans. That's what they're talking about a lot of times. A lot of them are talking about our government, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them talk about I'm in the mix. I have
out there.
Do what?
There's stupid people everywhere, but there's a lot of stupid Americans, Yeah,
there's a lot of dumbasses, like you said, everywhere. The world's full of them. We have no shortage of moronic people. It's unfortunate, but
like put in so like on a smaller scale, so like I mean, we live in Australia. I've already said it's redneck fucking bumfuckville or whatever the fuck. So like for a lot of years, I mean, like, I came here when I was 7, after I moved from Santa Cruz and all that shit. And like, fuck, man, there's like I remember when I was a kid, we have this thing called the Uncle Sam sign. That's like when you're driving
The Hamilton
the
sign,
Hamilton,
yeah.
the Hamilton. It's
Uncle
like
Sam.
yeah, totally, you're right. Fucking,
Same
but
difference, same difference.
but yeah, it's I mean like I remember, and it always just has extremely fucking right wing like I mean racial or homophobic fucking sayings on it or whatever. So like I remember as a kid, I came in and it was like, why does Mexico not have an Olympic team? Because all the good runners and swimmers are already here. All right, like shit like that. I was like, as a kid, I was like,
Pretty gnarly stuff.
Is that or one of the classic originals of it is like fucking, I can't remember how it started, but it literally ended up sentence was homos from Evergreen, which is the college in Olympia, right? So
That's
it's like
crazy.
like that thing's been up forever, right? So basically what I'm saying is like this place, I mean like we're surrounded by, you know, pretty fucking like non-accepting like dumb people that are like, you know, just out to just say their piece and like just be fucking, I mean, and whatever, be homophobic, be racist or whatever. But also, so what I'm saying is, so like we live in this town, or I live in this town, and and I wanted to move away. I was like, fuck this place. This fucking place sucks, dude. I'm surrounded by idiots and all that shit. But now I love this place because I've seen it grow, because we're constantly, you know, we're making a small punk scene out here and all that shit. I mean, like McFilers, like we talked about, I mean, is having, dude, like the drummer of Fear just played in Centralia, you know.
That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah, like in his new band, fucking Nasal Rod or whatever. And yeah, fucking the guys in Days and Days, they stopped by.
I'll have Jesse on soon.
Right. Yeah, we were talking
That's
about
awesome.
that. And yeah, fucking, so, like that shit's rad. So anyways, it's really cool to understand when things are lame, but it's also very important to want to fix it and just fix what's surrounding you, you know.
Absolutely.
Being a part of your community to make things better.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's, I'm
it's
sorry.
just a place where like having long hair, you'd get yelled at by people driving down the street, going through middle school and high school and all that. And that was rough for a second, but now definitely love it.
It's
There's
getting
so
better.
many
I mean, that's definitely the same. I mean, I think we all kind of feel like we're in these like little islands by ourselves. In reality, dude, I mean, that's exactly how it was down here. It's so crazy that it was like that for all of us. But I think it's because we're all kind of the same people, and so we're all surrounded by normal type folks. And I say normal is just like the catch-all phrase for people that aren't like us. You know, like I had this like image in my head of these ladies with these sharp haircuts and these stupid ass vehicles and these terrible clothes that don't do what?
The Karen cut.
Yeah, the Karen cut, man. I always called it like the sharp haircut because it's just like super like aggressive haircuts, man. And it's like they want to tell you all these things that don't really fucking matter. I don't know. I gotta hate people sometimes. Fuck, dude. Now I'm like irritated. Like I was like super stoked 10 minutes ago. Now I just want to go outside and smack my neighbor in the head. Like
Do it.
people, man. No, my neighbor's actually pretty rad, but like he's a small business owner too. But like down the road though, there's some fucking assholes out here. I live in a weird town, man. It's like in my neighborhood, it's like all blue collar, a lot of Latino folks. And like outside of my neighborhood though, it's like money. It's weird. I'm like the center of a fucking donut. I kind of feel like that's the way a lot of like these towns are, man. We have all these people that we have this little center where all of us hang out, and then everywhere around us is just like it's like that's the way you were saying how a lot of it's like a red state, but you have like a blue state center. That's what it feels like, man. All these cities that I see on TV and read about a little bit, that's what it feels like. It feels like they have this really progressive inner city, and then the further I guess that is what it is, huh? You have like an inner city is usually pretty progressive, and then the further out you get in the suburbs where like the rich white folks are at, it gets like less so. It's what it feels like anyways. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it sure feels that way.
On Blue Kid Trapped in a Red State by Retching Red. And that's literally like how it feels to
Dude.
Like, literally like I'm the one like progressive thinking person in all my surroundings.
It's rough.
You know?
It's rough.
It's rough.
Man, I'm so glad that we're talking about this because I've always felt kind of like I didn't know anybody else that thought that way, but it's probably exactly how we all feel.
No, man, fucking like, you know, living in Washington and shit like that. I mean, it's pretty progressive state for real, but we also have just like really big fucking cities surrounding us. So like,
Yeah,
we live 20 minutes from Olympia, which is so extremely progressive. But then we struggle with, you know, the normies or whatever the fuck here 20 minutes away. And then, so like, I feel like there's a lot of rural fucking areas where, I mean, the normies that we're talking about are everywhere. But then we have Seattle, Olympia, and Portland surrounding us. So it seems like so intense. Or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Texas is a weird place because it's like on the outside, it's super conservative. But man, I've been here my whole life. I can tell you firsthand that there's a lot of progressive and liberal think out here. A lot of it's in Austin, but Houston's a pretty rad place. It's getting to be. It's harder out here. I'm in a place called Katy. It's like outside Houston, and I'm only out here because I've got kiddos, and I wanted them to go to some good schools, or you know, as good as I could get them in, anyways. As good as the neighborhood I can afford. But it's weird because I still like to be in Houston. Like I like to be in town because I feel more at home there. Like I feel more at home in like kind of bad neighborhoods. It's just kind of where I grew up. And I was talking to my mom the other day on the phone. We need more space. There's 5 of us, and we've only got 3 bedrooms, and one of them is this office. So there's only basically 2 bedrooms in this house for 5 people, and it's not much space. And I was talking to my mom, and she says, you know, why don't you move out to where we're at? And she kind of lives, honestly, like what we're talking about. She lives in like it's further out. I was like, Mom, I can't be that far from the city. And she's like, you know, you're 40, you got family, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. Like, I'm from the city. Like, I still have a fucking grimple patch on my jacket. I'm 41, man. Like, am I ever going to change? No, I'm a city guy. Like, I'm over here. This is just where I'm comfortable. And like, this is where I do my business and like hang out with my friends and people. And she just can't wrap her head around it. I don't know what I was getting at, but it sure feels like the further out I go, like the more I'm not with my people. And so I have to start my own people in that little spot. Like out here in Katy, there's only a few people like us out here. I mean, it's weird. I got really fortunate. My next door neighbor, he's like more of like a metal guy, but his wife's like a punk rocker. And she knows shit that the only punk rockers would know. And it's cool to have her next door because I don't know anybody else in this entire area that's like that. So it's pretty rad. But
Right on. Yeah, well, I mean, we're lucky in a sense that while we kind of live in, you know, Redneckville, as you might say, you know, just like 20 minutes, you know, 30 minutes up the road, we've got Olympia, we've got, you know, Seattle a little farther away. So it's not, you know, while we're out here, it's not too hard.
How far are those places from you guys? Like if you wanted to go to Seattle or Olympia, how long of a drive is that?
We live in Centralia, so we are in the center between Portland and Seattle, 90 miles each side.
Yeah, equidistant.
So it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to one of them. So it's a little closer than Austin is for me. So that's not okay. It's comparable then, because if I wanted to go somewhere like that, it would be Austin, and it's about 3 hours from here.
I live with my girlfriend most of the time in Olympia, so like I'm just right there.
Oh, nice.
We live right up the street from like where all the cool shit's happening. So,
dude, I'm envious. I would love to come out there and like one day I will. I don't know when, but I will. I'll make my way up there because I gotta visit. I'm going to Vegas first. I'm gonna go visit the Punk Rock Museum. I want to go see all that shit. Maybe run into Fat Mike. But like I'm gonna make my way up to Washington one of these days, man. I just want to go see these places that I hear about in these songs and like
the shit is out here, man.
It's pretty
so
tight,
sick.
dude.
The scene is rampant.
Yeah, you dig it.
Man, I'm super excited. Well, we've had a long conversation and it's been a lot of fun, man. I will not be deleting this by accident or whatever the fuck happened. Yeah, dude, man, it's been an awesome time talking to you guys. I'm gonna go I haven't eaten dinner yet. It's 10:30 where I'm at. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out, man. I really enjoyed this conversation. I hope you guys did. I had a fucking awesome time.
It's a pleasure talking with you, man.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I will keep in touch, dude. When what's it looking like? What's schedule look like for music being done and stuff? I haven't really. We've been so busy.
July 15th, we're playing McCoy's June. Sorry,
it's like okay, so like about a week and a half.
California. Yeah. June 15th, we're playing here at home at McCoy's over in Olympia, and then the 17th.
So 15th. Yeah. So 15th in Olympia, 17th in Kelso, Washington,
yes,
and then the 18th in Tacoma, Washington. So McCoy's, Erebus, and then the Plaid Pig.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were playing the Substation on the 29th, which is in Seattle.
So we have
then what's the time frame for having the album EP or whatever it is done?
Okay, I was wondering. So yeah, we hit up our.
I'm in no rush, by the way. I'm just trying to get an idea.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, we'd have our producer guy, fucking Joel. He's working on tracks right now. We're hoping, like, we got a first round of rough tracks or slightly mixed tracks like fucking half ago, and so we hit him up again. And so yeah, we're hoping we'll get the masters like probably within the next, probably another month. Yeah.
Okay. That's. I mean, I've got the money set aside. Money's fine. I got that. I've been working my tail off, so I've got that set aside. It's not being touched or anything.
I wish I had an answer for you. I mean, like.
Oh no, dude. A month is good because that means I can still, because I'm still getting my contract looked at. Like I had to write it all myself. It's very simple. It's all just like 1.5 pages. Cool. But I did want to get it looked at to make sure that neither of us were having any issues with it. So I just had it. It's being looked over, and then I can get that sent out. We'll talk artwork privately later, but cool, man. What yeah, awesome. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any bands you want to shout out? Anything? Let's put all that in the comments, all that in the description, man.
Earth. Those are our,
Grim Earth.
if you listen to us, listen to Grim Earth also.
Grim Earth all day long, and then on the 15th we're playing with Narc from Salt Lake City.
Yeah, Narc
and Ribbons. Not too familiar with Ribbons quite yet, but we've seen Narc.
I've heard about them, and they're pretty fucking sick.
I think I've heard Narc.
Ribbons is
Emily and Spencer, dude. Those guys are fucking badass.
Punk band, and they're pretty fucking cool.
And then
and Spencer and Narc, those are the homies.
And Spencer puts on fucking the General Violence Conference in Salt Lake City, and that has like a ridiculous amount of sick bands. So
nice,
definitely.
Well, dude, man, I'm psyched for the future, man. I can't wait to have you guys back on again in maybe a few weeks or a month or something. Right around the time that the album's getting finished, we'll get back on and we'll just kind of talk about that experience and maybe go over some of the songs. And if you have one of them available, we could play it on and let people hear it. But
great.
Hell yeah, man. Will you boys be safe out there? Do what?
Go listen to Time Crime.
Bro, I got a. Actually, did I write that one down? Oh yeah, the song. Duh, yeah, it's right here on my phone. Y'all song. I'm tripping, bro. I was like, why does that sound so familiar? Because we just talked about it. My stupid ass can't remember. Awesome, dude. Well, you guys have a good. Was it Sunday? Have a good night. You guys go to work. Have a good work week. All that shit. But otherwise, we'll talk soon, man. Y'all be good.
All right.
Peace out, man.
All right.
Have a good
Later,
night.
fellas.